Rasulillah, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. On behalf of Islamia College and Masjid Furqaan, we wish each and every one of you, your families and your loved ones, a Ramadan Kareem. May Allah grant all of us. Uses different methods, different literary styles to convey its message. There are stories in the Quran, commands in the Quran, promises in the Quran, rewards offered in the Quran, warnings in the Quran. Among the styles the Quran used, the literary styles, there's also what we call parables or similes that are found in the Quran. And Allah says, وَلَقَدْ ضَرَبْنَا فِي هَذَا الْقُرْآنِ or وَلَقَدْ ضَرَبْنَا لِلنَّاسِ فِي هَذَا الْقُرْآنِ مِنْ كُلِّ مَثَلٍ وَلَقَدْ ضَرَبْنَا لِلنَّاسِ فِي هَذَا الْقُرْآنِ مِنْ كُلِّ مَثَلٍ لَعَلَّهُمْ يَتَذَكَّرُونَ. We have provided in the Quran every kind of parable, every kind of simile, in order that people may think, may ponder, and may reflect. Now, a parable or a simile is a brief, concise, instructive story or a comparative statement which serves as a means of instruction that plays somewhat of an educational role, and very often it conveys or illustrates a lesson of higher meaning. Our theme for this Ramadan, inshallah, is Layal al-Tamkeen, Amthal wa Hikmah min al-Quran al-Kareem, nights of empowerment, parables and wisdom from the Holy Quran. We intend taking parables or similes or proverbs or wisdom from the Quran, gleaned from the pages of the Holy Quran, in order to gain some ethical insight or to highlight some noble virtue or to illustrate a valuable principle or to obtain a moral lesson, any of which and all of which could, inshallah, enhance our understanding of Islam, as well as, perchance, increase our commitment to righteousness and, inshallah, improving ourselves. So let's begin with the heart. It is obvious that the physical heart is an indispensable part of the human body, a part that pumps the blood through the whole cardiovascular system, providing required nourishment and necessary supplies that provide stability for the human body. And we look in the Holy Quran, we found there are 4 particular terms that are used in reference to the heart. One is sadr, one is shaghaf, one is fu'ad, and the most popular and common one is qalb. And reference to the heart in the Holy Quran is 132 times. But when the Quran refers to the heart, it's not referring merely to the physical organ that pumps the blood, but rather it refers to the confluence, that merging point, that meeting point between the intellect, the emotion, and human consciousness. It is, if you will, a symbol of the spiritual dimension of the physical self. So early in Surah Al-Baqarah, Allah makes reference, فِي قُلُوبِهِمْ مَرَضٍ. He begins with the heart, those hearts that have a disease. And here disease refers to corruption in the heart or hypocrisy in the heart. And then also Allah provides a parable, a simile, comparing hearts to rocks, describing different kinds of hearts, and those hearts in relation to their commitment to their faith. So there are those hearts, as the Quran says, كَالْحِجَارَةِ أَوْ أَشَدُّ قَسْوَةً. They are hearts that are like stone. In fact, some of them are even harder than stone. Hearts that are ghalidh al-qalb, devoid of healthy or positive emotions. Hearts, qulubun aqfaluha, that are locked up. Hearts that are blind to the reality of truth. That's the heart, like the heart of Abu Lahab. Then there are hearts filled with virtue, filled with goodness, open to enlightenment, are troubled hearts. Hearts that have the potential for faith, but it requires to be cracked open like a rock before water or faith can flow from it, like Sayyidina Umar, until he had experience with his sister. And therefore Allah says, وَإِنَّ مِنْهَا لَمَا يَشَّقَّقُ فَيَخْرُجُ مِنْهُ الْمَاءُ. They are cracked open by some traumatic experience, and then the faith or the water flows. And then there are, may Allah protect us, there are hearts of many people who may be in faith purely out of fear. If I don't believe, Allah will punish me. There's no love relationship. There's no obedience, there's no servitude, there's no spiritual connection. It's purely, if I don't do this, Allah will punish me. وَإِنَّ مِنْهَا لَمَا يَهْبِطُ مِنْ خَشْيَةِ اللَّهِ. We realize from all of this that the heart is the essence. It is the excess of goodness and of the well-being of ourselves. And therefore the Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, in a hadith document Sahih of Imam al-Bukhari, said, أَلَا وَإِنَّ فِي الْجَسَدِ مُضْغَةً إِذَا صَلَحَتْ صَلَحَ الْجَسَدُ كُلُّهُ وَإِذَا فَسَدَتْ فَسَدَ الْجَسَدُ كُلُّهُ أَلَا وَهِيَ الْقَلْبُ. In the body there's a portion. If that portion of the body is good, the whole body is good. And if that portion of the person is bad, the whole body is corrupted. And that part is the heart. Not only that, لا يستقيم إيمان عبد حتى يستقيم قلبه. Even the faith that we profess cannot be complete, cannot be upright, unless our hearts are correct. لا يستقيم إيمان عبد حتى يستقيم قلبه. Hadith documented in the Musnad of Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal. Scholars went so far as to say, لا صلاة إلا بحضور القلب. There's no salah unless there's a presence of heart. So just going through the ritual is one thing, but the heart needs to be present. And as the poet says in Urdu, Sar jukane se namaze ada nahi hoti, dil jukana parta hai ibadat ke liye. Just bowing your head, the salah is not done. For it to be ibadah, your heart has to be present and engaged. And therefore we find we need to reflect. The presence of heart is essential for a higher consciousness as to why we do the acts and the rituals that we do. From all of this, we learn 3 points perchance. One, our faith and deeds need to come from the conviction of our hearts. Our faith, our deeds need to come from the conviction of our hearts. We do acts with our bodies and say words with our tongues, but do we intend what we do with the sincerity of our hearts? And that's why Imam Hassan al-Basri, rahmatullahi alayhi, one of those who saw the companions, Tabi', who said, إن الإيمان ليس بالتحلي ولا بالتمني إنما الإيمان ما وقر في القلب وصدقه العمل. He said faith is not by sugarcoating or flowery words or by mere wishing. Rather, faith is firmly rooted in the heart and manifested through good action. So one, there needs to be, our deeds need to come from the conviction of our hearts. Number two, there's an important relationship between our hearts, our human faculties, our minds, and our actions. They're not separate. And therefore Allah says in the Quran, أَفَلَمْ يَسِيرُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ فَتَكُونَ لَهُمْ قُلُوبٌ يَعْقِلُونَ بِهَا أَوْ آذَانٌ يَسْمَعُونَ بِهَا فَإِنَّهَا لَا تَعْمَى الْأَبْصَارُ وَلَكِنْ تَعْمَى الْقُلُوبُ الَّتِي فِي الصُّدُورِ. Do they not travel through the land so that their hearts may be enriched, their hearts may understand, and their ears may listen? In reality, it's not their eyes that is blind, rather there's a blindness of their hearts. So we need to be able to use our sensory faculties, apply our rational thoughts to identify our deepest values and to let our principles motivate us to do what is good, to motivate us to do good actions. Those actions that emanate from the sincerity of our hearts and the purity of our intentions. As Sayyidina Ali karramallahu wajah said, إن لله في أرضه آنية إن لله في أرضه آنية وإن من آنيته فيها القلوب فلا يقبل منها إلا ما صفى وصلب ورق. Allah has certain vessels, receptacles, containers on this earth. And among those containers or receptacles or vessels are the human heart. And Allah does not accept anything from the human heart except that which is done from purity and a heart that is stable and a heart that is tender, kind and gentle. Rasulullah therefore reminds us, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَنظُرُ إِلَى صُوَرِكُمْ وَلَكِنْ يَنظُرُ إِلَى قُلُوبِكُمْ وَأَعْمَالِكُمْ. In another version, إِلَى صُوَرِكُمْ وَأَمْوَالِكُمْ وَلَكِنْ يَنظُرُ إِلَى قُلُوبِكُمْ وَأَعْمَالِكُم. Many versions of the hadith, Allah does not judge you by your physicality, by your wealth, by your position or your possession. He judges you by the sincerity of your hearts and the actions that flow from it. And the third and final point, the Quran emphasizes that the most valuable asset that we take from this world are two. Of all the things in the world, there are two things we take with us. Al-baqiyatu salihat. the permanent consequence of good actions. Because whatever good you do, there's a reward for it. Whatever wrong you do, you'll be held accountable for that. So there is a permanent consequence for the good we do or the wrong we do. So those most valuable assets we take from this world, one, al-baqiyatu salihat, the permanent consequence of good actions, and secondly, those who come to Allah with a pure heart. As the Quran says, when we prepare ourselves for the inevitable day of resurrection, وَلَا تُخْزِنِي يَوْمَ يُبْعَثُونَ يَوْمَ لَا يَنْفَعُ مَالٌ وَلَا بَنُونَ إِلَّا مَنْ أَتَى اللَّهَ بِقَلْبٍ سَلِيمٍ. Prepare yourself, O people, in such a way that you will not be sad on the day of resurrection. On that day when neither your material wealth, nor your position, nor your possession, nor your family ties, nor your status will benefit you. But rather what will benefit you? مَنْ أَتَى اللَّهَ بِقَلْبٍ سَلِيمٍ. Those who come to Allah with a sound heart. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله.